How's it going, movie and TV fans? Welcome back to another review on the channel, and today we are finally returning to the world of Doctor Who, to the one series I haven't seen. And I'm gonna be frank, before we get to series 10, I was hesitant going into it. I don't know what it was going to be like. I mean, I've only seen the first episode so far, but what I'm trying to say is, based on the first episode, I really enjoyed this first episode. I can't lie, it's genuinely, I love how small scale it is and how grounded it is compared to other episodes. I think it being just a small basic one enemy's tale is a great start to the series, and I think it gives me hopes that the series could be really fucking good, and I hope it is as good as I want it to be. And yeah, so the first episode, Doctor Who series 10, the pilot. Before we go on that, I just want to talk about some of the circumstances as to why I haven't actually watched this series yet. And I think it was because, so my history with the show and watching it when it aired, I had seen Day of the Doctor when it had aired, and then I saw series 8 and 9. I watched all of that when it aired, and then come the conclusion of series 9, we had the Christmas special, but we also had so at the end of series 9 there was the 2015 Christmas special, Husbands of River Song, and then Doctor Who skipped a year, and there was no Doctor Who in 2016 other than the Return of Dr. Mysterio, which I watched on Christmas Day. And I think what stopped me from watching series 10 is that a lot had happened in my own personal life in between the airing of the Return of Dr. Mysterio and the start of series 10, and I think it was just at a time where I was exploring other stuff and other TV shows and other movies and stuff, and you know, it was an interesting time, and I think that's why I never watched it. But I am happy to be able to watch it now, and I can't lie, Noah Dial is so fucking awesome from what I've seen in this series so far. But I do like the pilot. I think it's lots of fun. I think it's very well paced and it's very well structured, and that's the best part about it. I think it really is a great start to a series that could be my favourite. But like I said, there has been a period where I've been genuinely thinking about skipping series 10 and going straight to 11, because I have so much I want to talk about that series, because it's a very special series to me, along with 12 and now the recently released series 13, Flux, which has just started premiering on BBC One. As the recording of this part of this video, the first episode has aired, the Halloween Apocalypse, a few days ago. I'm sure by the time this video comes out, the next couple of episodes would have come out. I don't know. It may not. I would hope not. But yeah, that's been my review of Doctor Who Series 10 Episode 1, the pilot. And what you're about to hear now is my review of Doctor Who. Oh, actually, no. Before we move on to that, I just want to talk about the episodes and stuff. What we got for this series. So we have the pilot of Episode 1. We have Smile, Thin Ice, Knock Knock, Oxygen, Extremis, The Pyramid at the End of the World, The Lie of the Land, The Empress of Mars, The Eaters of Light, World Enough and Time, the Doctor Falls, and then the finale for this series and the final episode for Peter Capaldi as the 12th Doctor, Twice Upon a Time. So that's what series 10 has installed for us. I think it was the last series to have the 12 episode structure. Well, 14 episodes including Christmas special. Series 4 specials. I'm not going to one in this. Series 5 did have the 13 episodes and then a Christmas special, making it 14. Series 6 also had that. Series 7 special. So Series 8 was Technically, Series 6 was the last series to properly have a 13 episode series, with the 14th episode being the Christmas special of that year, or holiday special that year. But Series 10 was the last series to have the 12 episode structure, with the 13th episode being the Christmas special of that year. As Series 11 would have a 10 episode structure, with the 11th episode being the Christmas special. That would continue through Series 12 up until Series 13, which will have a 6 episode structure, with a 7th episode being the special. The 7th episode being the special, and also another final 8th episode to round out the series and to round out Jodie Whittaker's time as the 13th Doctor in mid to late 2022, as we wave goodbye to the 13th Doctor. But we'll get to that when we get to that. Series 10 is going to be fun. I can't wait to get on with it. I really want to get Doctor Who done by the end of the year, and then for the next couple of months I'm going to be focusing solely on TV shows and stuff that I want to. TV shows I really want to talk about. I've got the list. I'm going to put the list in order at some point on what shows I want to cover in what order, and we'll go from there. So yeah, thank you very much for watching this absolutely epic gaming episode. You're about this being my review of Doctor Who Series 10 Episode 1, the pilot. You're about to hear my review of Doctor Who Series 10 Episode 2. Smile. So yeah, that's going now, and yeah. Episode 2 review now. Right, so Doctor Who Series 10 Episode 2. The very awesome Smile, which once again is another episode that's very, I would say, small in scale, honestly, and I hope there's some bigger scale ones, but it's a great start to the series with these smaller scale episodes that I think really work in conveying and start, obviously, with this series like this, where you start with a brand new companion, you have to spend a couple episodes getting used to them, and I think that's what Smile does very well. It does a great job of continuing the setup of Bill Potts, which is fantastic, and the Smiley Watts thing is cool, and I love the story here in the Doctor misunderstands a lot of it, and he nearly kills the majority of the human race. I think that's a really cool twist in the story that makes, you know, a whole lot more intriguing than it would have been, per se. But yeah, I truly do love this story. I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's incredibly well structured. I think I do like the costumes for the humans later on in the movie, in the episode. But that's quite cool. I think Peter Capaldi is on top form here, as he always usually is. And the little bits of Nardole we do see are kind of cool. I hope we see more of him, as we've seen barely any of him so far. But yeah, that Smile, I think it's well set up, and it does but I think it's certainly one that could do with more Nardole. I can't lie, he's in there for 5 minutes, but I do like the whole the creature is the actual physical walls of the building and not just, you know, there. I think it's, like I said, I like the emptiness of it as well. That really works. The emptiness and the small scaleness of it really helps set up these characters well, and I suppose you need that time to set up Bill and the Doctor, and then you bring in Nardole and put the three together, which towards the end of the series I imagine is the direction it goes in. And yeah, this has been my review of Series 10, Episode 2. Smile. Right now, it's my review of Doctor Who, Series 10, Episode 3, Thin Ice. I'll just let this bit play out, shall I? So, Doctor Who, Series 10, Episode 3. Or is it 4? I don't actually know. Let's find out, shall we? But we're on Series 10. Series 10 is interesting. It's Episode 3, Thin Ice. Now, I can't lie, when this episode is not as good as the other two for Series 10 so far, but it's okay. It's decent. I think, you know, cool plot, decent characters. To be fair, it's another small scale one as well, and I think if I was to take anything away from this series so far, is that, at least up until Series 3, it's a very small scale series, with the stories and the events being small scale, opposed to a big massive invasion, loads of people in the way and stuff like that. It's very small scale, and I appreciate that in a series of Doctor Who. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I think it's okay, I suppose. It's not the greatest episode the show's ever put out, but it's also far from the worst. Yeah, I mean, I like the setting and the structure as well. I like seeing Nardole as well. I think, hopefully, as the series goes on, there's a few episodes that clearly have Nardole in the thumbnail, so I imagine he'll appear in those. And yeah, overall, I'm enjoying Series 10 quite a bit. I'm enjoying the music as well. I think, like I said, it's a shame that the Series 10 soundtrack has not been released as of the recording of this video on the 6th of November 2021. The Series 10 original television soundtrack by Murray Gold is yet to be released. Sad face, sad face, sad face. But I think Thin Ice is okay, I suppose. It's, like I said, it's not the best. It has a decent plot. It's kind of okay in places. And yeah, I enjoy it. To be honest with you, it's not really the worst I've seen, but it's not the best. I just think it's there, really, you know? It's just there. It does its job. Yeah. It's fairly enjoyable, I suppose. And yeah, it's just dank. That's what I'm going to say. And it's okay, I suppose. It's definitely far from the best episode I've seen in the series. But I do like the costume design, and the set design in this series is pretty good as well. But yeah, that's been my review of Doctor Who Series 10, Episode 3. Thin Ice. Coming out now is my review of Doctor Who Series 10, Episode 4. Knock, knock. Yeah, see you then. Bye. Well, now. Knock, knock review. Coming at you now. Right, so, Series 10, Episode 4, Knock Knock. Now, I actually think this is a nice spooky tale for Halloween time, and I actually, like I said, once again, continuing the trend we've seen thus far in Series 10. I don't know how much I'll continue for the rest of the series, but again, it's another very small scale episode, and like I said, I'm very fond of this small scale series. Maybe it's just me looking at this series being like that, but they all feel like small scale events, and I think that's, from what I've heard about Series 10, that's very on purpose, and it's very because I believe towards the end, the lead up to the final few episodes, is the last 2 episodes of this series, apparently the maddest episodes ever and shit. But I like so far that everything has been smaller than usual, you know, small scale, small size, and that's really brilliant. And it continues with Knock Knock, the story about the landlord. I think it's a very interestingly fun tale that has its great twists and turns. I think, you know, the spooky atmosphere of it worked great for an episode to watch at Halloween, per se, if you're looking for someone to watch at Halloween. Yeah, it's just... It's just one of those things where, personally, I think it's quite a fun episode. I personally enjoyed it quite a lot. I think it's, has moments. I quite like the ending and how it ends and stuff. That's quite heart, pulls on the heartstrings and stuff. And it's a nice unfolding ending. I like the character of Bill's friends. Are all quite, interesting. They have some stuff, I suppose, that exists. But, But yeah, overall, it's just a episode I personally quite think is, it's there. I enjoy it a lot. I think, there is space for improvement in a lot of its areas, personally. But that's just me, I suppose. Yeah, that's more, what can I say? Not like it's fun, enjoyable entertainment. Yeah, up next is Doctor Who Series 10, Episode 5, Oxygen. Right, so Doctor Who Series 10, Episode 5, Oxygen. It's you know what, I genuinely, there was enough of these episodes on a space base where they're walking through them that you could make a top 10 list about them. But I feel like this has a unique spin on it, I suppose, with it, obviously, its themes of capitalism and stuff like that. So it works, but at the end of the day, it's nothing special as well, because it's something we've seen done time and time again. Group of survivors on a space base, something's gone wrong, something's attacking them, let's hide. It's a tried and true format the Doctor has used for years, and I mean years. For 15 years, most series is, a good chunk of the series have an episode like this on a space base with a group of survivors and the Doctor and the companions, and it just goes on and on and on. And, no, I'm joking. But I think it's a decent episode. It you know what? I do like the concept with the spacesuits. I do like how it's presented as well, with the I think it works in a manner of speaking, but I also think personally there could have been more to it, considering it is primarily based off a concept Doctor has been using for far too long now. Yeah, I just think it's a bit... Yeah, just keep in mind that this is probably going to be a shorter video than most other of my Who reviews, purely because this is my first time seeing the series, so, with the other ones I've seen them a few times, so it's sort of just, you know what I mean, I said let's talk about it, there's also more at the same time, but, yeah, this has been my review of Doctor Who Series 10, Episode 5, Oxygen. Come on now, you're about to hear my review of Doctor Who Series 10, Episode 6, Extremis, coming at you now. Right, so Doctor Who Series 10, Episode 6, Extremis. Now, this is where the series starts ramping up and getting larger scale than it previously has been. And I think Extremis is one of those episodes where it works, and then the story it tells and the way it progresses, and especially that ending, is really just perfectly done. And it's given me vibes of obviously Series 8 and 9 episodes as well. But yeah, I just think it works in so many ways. But yeah, I just think Extremis works in many ways that it wishes previous episodes would have worked as in this series, I suppose, in being large scale. But I guess the small scales of the other ones help build and build and build and build and build. And we've still got... pays to go. But yeah, Extremis is an episode. It works in the broader sense of what I imagine will continue to set up as the episodes go forward. Nardal is fucking awesome. He's one of my favourite companions of New Whoever. He's fucking awesome. And here he's just as awesome too. But yeah. But yeah, this has been Series 10, Episode 6. Extremis, coming as my review of Doctor Who, Series 10, Episode 7, The Pyramid at the End of the World, which looks lots of fun by the little trailer we see at the end. But yeah, Series 7 review now. Episode 7, Series 10, Episode 7 review now. Yo, what's up? It's your boy coming back at you with Doctor Who Series 10, Episode 7. We're now officially halfway through the series. We're talking about the Pyramid at the End of the World. Now, I think so far out of all the episodes of Series 10, this is my favourite. This or Extremis, because they're both really great episodes that up the stakes, and this one specifically really ups the stakes. And I love the location filming, and I was just saying to myself while watching this episode that the Moffat era, particularly the latter half of the Moffat era, we're talking Series 8 to Series 10, had some of the most brilliant locations and location filming I've seen in Doctor Who history, and it has not yet been beaten, which is kind of mad when you think about it. But I really enjoy the Pyramid at the End of the World. I think it's got a really, really, really interesting story. And I think from what I've seen in that trailer at the end of it, that the Lie of the Land is going to be very good as well. But I like this story that we're seeing so far. Essentially, this is a three-parter: Extremis, Pyramid at the End of the World, Lie of the Land. Technically it is, but also technically it isn't, so yeah. But I love the story it's being told here. I love how the stakes were just completely upped in Extremis, like the pilot, Smile, Thin Ice, Knock Knock, and to an extent Oxygen have fairly small stakes and aren't the biggest episodes in the world. Like I said, they're small scale, and that's what's good about them. And then Extremis and the Pyramid at the End of the World have just fucking upped the stakes to 1 fucking billion, which is kind of cool, and I respect that. I do. I really do. But yeah, the Pyramid at the End of the World is fun. As we're halfway through, I should probably say my thoughts on what I think of Series 10 as a whole. Now, obviously, not having watched this series when it first came out, I don't have that attachment that I do to 8 and 9. But I do think it's quite an enjoyable series. I like the small scale of a lot of the episodes. I like Bill as a character. I think the covering a person who's interested in the same sex is a very bold move from Doctor Who, and I think it's one of the better parts of this series to do that kind of thing. I think it's brilliant, but I'm not in a position to talk about that any more than saying it's a good thing, so I'm going to just move slightly past it. But I just want to say that it's a very nice, brilliant step forward that we all hope is continuing with 13 and Yaz by the end of Series 13. But it's a nice step forward, that's what I'm going to say, because I'm not in any position to continue talking about that side of it. But yeah, I think this whole story we've seen so far in Extremis and the Pyramid at the End of the World, and Missy coming back, and it's all been really fun. You know, I like where this series is going, and I'm happy to see where it goes. And yeah, this has been my review of Doctor Who Series 10, Episode 7, The Pyramid at the End of the World. Right, now it's my review of Doctor Who Series 10, Episode 8, The Lie of the Land. Now. So, Doctor Who Series 10, Episode 8, The Lie of the Land. Now, I like I said, much like Pyramid at the End of the World and Extremis, and much like I mentioned in my review of Pyramid at the End of the World, Lie of the Land is really good as well. I think those 3 episodes so far have been my favourite episodes of Series 10, Extremis, Pyramid at the End of the World, and The Lie of the Land. Both full of, don't get me wrong, I love the small scale stuff of the pilot, Smile, Thin Ice, Knock Knock, Oxygen. Thin Ice is probably, it's either Thin Ice or Oxygen are my least favourite episodes of the series so far, but I can't put my finger on which one I think is worse. But the others are quite fun. But yeah. The Lie of the Land is a lot of fun. I think it's kind of dank. I enjoy it. I like the fake out almost thing that the Doctor makes Bill do. I like the whole story. I like seeing Missy a bit more here as well. I like the ending is particularly cool. Give me Time Heist vibes and stuff like that. But yeah, overall it's a fun episode that I personally think is really good. One of the best of Series 10 so far, like I said, so far. But yeah, it's one of those things where I really enjoy this episode. I think it's fun. I enjoy it. I can't remember how many more times can I say that. I think it's fun. I like the plot here and the story quite a lot of the whole thing. But yeah, this has been my review of Doctor Who Series 10, Episode 8, The Lie of Jorge. The Lie of the Land. Coming out as my review of Doctor Who Series 10, Episode 9, The Empress of Mars. Coming at you right about now. Right, so Doctor Who Series 10, Episode 9, Empress of Mars. Now, I really like this one as well. I like the return of the Ice Warriors. I like the story. I like the Victorian soldiers. I like the message at the end. I like how it unfolds. I love everything about this episode. And I genuinely think, so far, this is actually my favourite episode of Series 10. Just because I love it mixes Doctor Who's, some episodes set in the past, episodes set in the future, and it mixes them together with a brilliantly told story and a brilliantly executed ending as well, and conclusion to the story. And it's just so fantastic. One of my favourite episodes of New Who, period. I can't lie, I just love this episode. I think it's so cool, and I love how it's basically just another small scale one as well, but with a lovely story and a great, fantastic pacing and music as well. I love this episode, and that's important to note how much I fucking love this episode. Now, I've never seen too many Ice Warrior stories. In fact, the only other one I've seen is Cold War from Series 7, so, it's cool to have them in a story like this. I really like it. I think all the characters are really cool, and I love how it ends as well. And yeah, I just love how this story flows. I love how it's presented. I love it. The 12 was brilliant in the story. Nardole was there, but he's also taken away from us time. Bill was really good in this story as well. I love the premise of the Ice Warriors. One coming back to Mars, and then eventually deciding to team up with Bill and stuff, and then the way it ends is brilliantly crafted. And yeah, this has been my short but actually very good review of Doctor Who Series 10 Episode 9, The Empress of Mars. Come on, as my review of Doctor Who Series 10 Episode 10, The Eaters of Light, coming at you right about now. So, Doctor Who Series 10 Episode 10, The Eaters of Light. Now, I don't like this one. I think, when put next to Thin Ice and Oxygen, The Eaters of Light is my least favourite episode of Series 10. I can't lie. So far, although we've got 3 left, and they're big, juicy, fatty ones, so I don't imagine that's going down. But yeah, this I don't like. It's just I love the being set in Scotland with Peter Capaldi being Scottish and Missy's actress Michelle Gomez also being Scottish. It works quite well, but other than that, there's not much to it. The story's fairly boring and just not enjoyable. Yeah, there's not really much more to say other than it's a bit bland and boring, really. I can't lie. It's not the best, but hey, what can you do? This has been my review of Doctor Who Series 10 Episode 10, The Eaters of Light. Come up next, my review of Doctor Who Series 10 Episode 11, World, Enough and Time. Coming up right about now. So, Doctor Who Series 10 Episode 11, World, Enough and Time. I love this episode. I think it's so well built up to what happens. The Genesis, the Cyberman. Big spoilers, by the way. Not that you wouldn't know what's coming based on what I'm going to say in a minute. But I like Missy's evolution in this episode. I like the return of the Master, John Simm's Master at least, which I think a lot of people agree with the fact of it would have been such a better reveal if it hadn't been announced that John Simm was coming back to the series before the series even aired. Just gonna let that hang for a second. Yeah, John Simm was announced to come back to the series before it aired, making his reveal in this episode completely pointless because we already knew what was coming. Never gonna get over that one. Anyway, I love this episode. I think it's lots of fun. I love how the story builds itself up. I like seeing what happens to Bill Potts in the end, And yeah, I just think it's a series that, well, this episode in particular is quite fun and quite well paced, I suppose, and it does an epic job of being epic. Yeah, and the ending is brilliant as well. And yeah, that's my thoughts on Doctor Who Series 10, Episode 11, World, Enough and Time. World, Enough and Time. Good fun, good plot, good music, great acting. Overall, makes a really fun episode. So yeah, right now is my review of Doctor Who Series 10, Episode 12, The Doctor Falls. Yo, it's your boy coming back at you with another section of this review. This section is of course talking about the episode known as The Doctor Falls, Series 10, Episode 1. The question. Series 10, Episode 12, The Doctor Falls. Now, the epic ending of Series 10, almost, that's epic and memes. But yeah, no, I really like this episode. I like Nardole and Bill in this episode a lot. I think 12 is at the strongest. John Sim back as the Master is also really strong as well. I think Missy is also a strong character as well. I think this is one of the better episodes of this series. I think, once we get to Twice Upon a Time, we'll then talk about my personal feelings of the rest of the series and stuff like that. But, it is that kind of thing where, personally, I wish... Not even that, I just think maybe some things could have... Actually, no, that's not true. I just think maybe it was a bit long. But yeah, I enjoy this episode. I think it's really, really fun. I like the way it folds itself out. I think the story is brilliant. The way it ends is fantastic. It's a great spiral for the 12th Doctor to go down and come out of. And obviously it leads very nicely into the follow-up episode, Twice Upon a Time. So yeah, a bit epic, am I right? But yeah, I appreciate the, the integrity of it. I think the 12th Doctor is really, really good. And I think in terms of, a single Doctor having every single one of their series being quite good, 12 is one that comes quite close. Although obviously I have a personal love for most 5, for 11 and 13 as well. But 12 is my third favourite Doctor. So I guess that means some epic memes. But, it's been a fun ride for Series 10, and I can't wait to get to the finale, which I've seen before, so this would be a nice point to sort of just wrap up my feelings with Series 10 before we get to the end of it. But in terms of just the main episodes that I haven't seen before, I think Series 10 has its ups and its downs, like most all series, and I think it could benefit from a bit of trimming here and there, and even still it's trimmed down quite a bit. But Series 10 as a whole has some of the most enjoyable and great episodes of Doctor Who history, but also having a good selection of episodes be on a smaller scale opposed to being on big massive scale. Sure, there's stuff like Extremis, Pyramid at the End of the World, Lie of the Land, World Enough in Time, and the Doctor Falls, which are all large scale episodes, but everything else around it, fairly small scale, and I like that a lot because it gives some nice smaller stories before being, essentially it gives you, a couple of smaller stories, then followed by 3 big stories, then 2 more smaller stories, and then 2 big stories at the end. I just like how it gets going. It has a nice selection of smaller stories to just set the ride as it goes up to the really big climax at the end. So you don't want to just chuck everything in the first episode. Then smaller stories to gradually build up enjoyment, entertainment, and enjoyment, and engagement of the viewer. So that's what I like the most about Series 10 so far. But we'll talk more about that after our review of Twice Upon a Time. So yeah, this has been my review of Doctor Who, Series 10, Episode 12, The Doctor Falls. Up next is my review, what you're about to hear is my review of Doctor Who, Series 10, Episode 13, and the Christmas Special 2017. And as of the time of recording, the final Christmas Special, although it may change when Russell T Davies comes back in 2023. Who knows? But as of the recording of this episode on the 7th of November 2021, Twice Upon a Time is the last released Christmas Special. So yeah, not tune in, but come out now is my review of Doctor Who, Twice Upon a Time, coming at you right about now. Right, so Doctor Who is Series 10, Episode 13, Twice Upon a Time. At the time of recording of this episode, the second episode of Doctor Who Flux, aka Series 13, War of the Sontarans, has aired, but I have not watched it yet. I'm about to, just thought, I'd say that because it's an epic meme. But, yeah, I really liked Twice Upon a Time. As I said, it was the only episode of Series 10 I had seen prior to doing this review, so I suppose there's a little bit of bias. Was it a little bit not? I saw this when it originally aired, and obviously having such a special connection to Peter Capaldi's Doctor, having seen the first two series, the first two Peter Capaldi series, series 8 and 9, the first two series I saw day and date when they aired. It's been, it's interesting, and I suppose there is a difference at the end of the day, because there was a year in between series 10, between series 9 and series 10, but there also was a year between series 11 and series 12, but I still managed to be a fan of Doctor Who then, which is interesting. I suppose maybe because things had shifted in that point in time, but regardless, what I say, Twice Upon a Time is fantastic. Dave Bradley as the first Doctor is brilliant as always. It's great to see Mark Gatiss back in Doctor Who again, playing a relative of the Brigadier. Absolutely fantastic. I love the cue they play when he says he's Lethbridge Stewart, Brigadier, where the Doctor asks him what's the name, and then the sergeant says Lethbridge Stewart, which is just an epic moment. I just love the story. I think it's brilliantly well told. But at the end of the day, I like the regeneration of 12 to 13. It's cool to see Jenna Coleman back as the Jenna Coleman back officially as Clara Oswald, even if it was for a brief stint, But yeah, I think the episode as a whole is really, I enjoy it quite a lot, and that shows obviously because personally I've had an experience with it before, but I do like seeing Bill Nardole back for the brief appearance at the end, but Bill for the majority of the episode. I like that the two Doctors have great chemistry with each other. It's fantastic. But yeah, that's been my view of Doctor Who Series 10 Episode 13, Twice Upon a Time. Now let's go back and just rank and talk about the rest of the Series 10. So now we're going to give each episode a rank number of, or what I think, out of 10. So the pilot, that's a 7. Smile, actually no, that's not true. The pilot is an 8. Smile was 8. Thin Ice is a 4. Knock Knock 7.5. Oxygen 5. Extremis 9. Pyramid End of the World 9. Lie of the Land 9. Empress of Mars a fucking 10. The Eaters of Light 3. Wild Enough and Time, that's a 9 as well. The Doctor Falls a 9, and Twice Upon a Time is a 10. So yeah, like I said, my favourite episode of the series is actually Empress of Mars. I just really love that episode. And my least favourite is The Eaters of Light. Don't like it. It's boring. Yeah, this has been my review of Doctor Who Series 10. I hope you enjoyed it. We're back with the TV reviews. I'm going forward for a couple of months. I'm going to focus on TV reviews, although I will be having a Christmas special that will be... I know what that is. I'm not going to spoil it, but I'll announce it close to the time. But I already have plans what the Christmas special will be for this year on the channel. Very special film to me. But yeah, this has been my review of Doctor Who Series 10, and bringing us to the close of the first 10 series of Doctor Who, and bringing us to the end of the Stephen Moffat era, 2010 to 2017. And we're about to start the next series, Doctor Who Series 11 review, so yeah, stay tuned for that. We'll be doing 11, 12 and 13 in the coming weeks. Yeah, thanks so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, and don't forget to click below to subscribe to the official Doctor Who YouTube channel. I had to do the meme, but yeah, thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned for the Series 11 review, and yeah, a bit of a shorter one compared to most other Doctor Who series reviews, but it is what it is. Thanks so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, and don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe button, and yeah, to that terrible outro that I fucking made.